Hello. Good, good evening, Nirja. Hello. Can you hear me, Nirja? I,
Yes,
yes.
yes. I just realized my blunder
What was that?
that I thought this was at uh 9 o'clock.
Oh, 9:30 was what we said. Okay, but you're here now. Good. Do you
I
have
realized.
time? Do you have time or it's not going to be
Yes,
possible?
yes, yes,
Yes.
yes, yes.
Okay. So we
I
will,
was reading something that.
you were reading? Yes.
No, no, I
Even
was reading, so I'm fine.
Okay. What I will also do, I have the PDF of this book. I can send you the PDF also. So on your own also you can do independent reading at your comfort.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. So this reading is basically for those who want to come on online and read for half an hour. So you're most welcome to join this
Yeah.
every week. I am going to do at least once a week. So you're most welcome to join. And because sometimes you feel curious, you want to read faster than that. So in that situation,
No, I think no, no, I'm quite comfortable with the online version.
okay, then I won't send you the PDF. Let's continue with the online. I will share the screen of the book and we will continue with the reading. Yes, are you able to see the book on the screen?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
Yes, in session 6, we had come up to page 34, and a lady who was the wife of someone who was very much liking Tukaram Maharaj, and he was almost like his disciple. And that lady hated that. She didn't want that her husband to go to Tukaram Maharaj. So, in that hatred, she fooled him, tricked him, asked him to come for dinner or something, and then spilled hot boiling water on through on Tukaram Maharaj. So that time again the abhanga came from his mouth. What had happened in case of Tukaram Maharaj was that he it abhanga was the way he would talk. This whole psyche had changed in such a way that instead of words, abhanga would come to his lips. That is how he was. That is why most of the events in his life he has written them in the form of abhanga. And because the history is that he was not composing any poems earlier, but one night in the early morning, Vithoba and Namdev Maharaj came in his dream, and Vithoba told him that you have to continue the mission of Namdev to write Abhanga. He could not complete his target, so you please take over, start from tomorrow. That is how he started composing Abhanga. And what it shows to us is that it was his Abhangas are so instantaneous, and because they were ordained by the Lord Himself, they are called prasadik vani. It is a gift from God. Whatever he speaks is basically a gift from God. And so the Gatha has a tremendous importance. And one who reads Gatha becomes a completely transformed person. That's been my experience, and also the experience with all the people whom I have seen in the Varkari sect. Whenever I meet someone who has studied the Gatha entirely, those people they become very quiet, very loving personalities. They have very few ego problems, and their whole Gatha changes the man completely. So we will continue now from that point where the lady put hot water on to boiling water on Tukaram Maharaj, page 34. What I had read was up to, yes, she called Tukaram to dine at her house. I'm reading from somewhere let's below center. I'm moving the
Yeah,
mouse.
yeah, I got it.
Being very covetous, at her house, proposed to bathe him with warm water, my God, and while doing so, poured in revenge for having spoiled her husband, boiling water on his head, so that his whole body was burnt, and he lay wailing and calling upon God for relief. The following is the Abhanga referring to the event. So here's the translation. My body is burning. It has caught wildfire. Run, O Keshava, who art my father and my mother. My whole body and the hair on it are on fire. I cannot check it, and it has consumed me. My heart is on the point of being rent in twain. Why art thou still looking on? Hasten immediately with thy quenching water. Nobody else can help me here. Tuka says, thou art my mother. Who else will protect me in the time of distress? My God, he had to ask for God to help. That lady was so cruel. Let's move on. This fire ordeal, so to say, of Tukaram converted, however, the heart of this shrew, who henceforth began to admire him, and whose husband became a disciple of Tukaram and always lived by him. The above incidents in the life of Tukaram sufficiently tasted the stuff he was made of and proved beyond doubt his true resignation of worldly comforts, his perfect command over his passions and desires, his patience in suffering bodily torments, his forgiveness, and above all, his intense faith and devoutness. They furnish a faithful picture of the man and enable us to understand the force of his writings and the internal causes of his immortal renown as a moral teacher of mankind. No wonder he is referred to as Jagadguru. Faith in God and unchangeable determination to act up to what one believed to be right were two of the cardinal doctrines he inculcated in his writings, and the above incidents show how heroically he illustrated them by his life. The following collection The following collection contains several other Abhangas, such as those about the siege of Lohagaon, 557 to 60, the Brahmana who came from Padapur and was given 11 Abhangas, that is 2324 to 2334 in this particular book. Letters to the Ganges, 1656 to 1658, later to Vithoba 1909 to 1944, and etc. The complaint of the brahmacharis to Dadoji Kondev against Tukaram and his preaching, which are of historical value and bear on the poet's life, but they need not be noticed here as incidents related above are sufficient. So it seems there was some complaint made to Dadoji Kondev against Tukaram because
Yeah.
Kondev was the teacher of Shivaji Maharaj, who taught him weapon
Okay.
sword fighting. So he was not the spiritual.
Mm,
Dadoji Kondev
mm,
was his weaponry guru. And it seems because Shivaji started loving peace of Tukaram, so maybe some people got agitated and complained to Dadoji Kondev. I am not aware of this incident. I will try to find out. In this author's opinion, that incident did not be noticed here because other above related incidents are sufficient to show the character of Tukaram Maharaj. He says it is believed to give a faithful picture of Tukaram to the reader, which is the object of this short biological sketch. Because this Vishnu Shastri Pandit has written this biological sketch as a prelude to the Abhanga Gatha, which he has edited. So we are reading that particular biography which is
Uh-huh.
attached, which is a prelude of the Abhanga Gatha, and after this will come those thousands of Abhanga in series. And they have them in English or Marathi. Let me confirm this. I'm a little confused. This one, Vishnu Shastri Pandit Abhanga Gatha. Now, what he has done here in this Gatha, there is no meaning given. They have only given the text. This Gatha is only as a text, so we can't use it
Uh-huh.
for meaning. I'm using it mainly for the biography of Tukaram Maharaj because I have got this luckily a biography in English, and this man is done it in 1857 kind of a time frame when and he has taken the reference of a book by Mahipati. Mahipati was there just a few years after Tukaram Maharaj, and then he did a lot of study, and he has written the kind of biographies of many saints after going into a great depth. So there is a lot of credence in what
In what language?
that is. Mahipati, I think, has written in Marathi. I don't have that book. I'll try to get
Okay.
Mahipati also. And but he has taken everything from, actually, he has taken everything from Mahipati's book. And what he has done, Vishnu Shastri Pandit, wherever the reference is not there, what he is doing is he's only giving reference from the Abhanga composed by Tukaram Maharaj. So he's not relying on any verbal stories or any anecdotes or anything. He is simply writing what Tukaram Maharaj has written in the Abhanga. So it's the most authentic
Uh-huh.
version of his biography. Okay, so after this, we continue. A very perplexing problem in connection with Tukaram's life is the question whether Tukaram believed, and if he did, how far, in miracles and his own power of working them. His followers, of course, tell all manner of miracles about him and represent him as working them almost every day and hour of his life. And Mahipati's biography of the poet is the best index as well as the source of this belief because Mahipati has described all the miracles, I think. In the quotations that have been given above from Tukaram himself, there is very little savoring of miracle in the strict sense of the word, and none whatever which would denote his having possessed and been conscious of the power of working them. Rameshwar Bhatta's recovery from his ailment by his submission to Tukaram and the restoration of the drowned Abhangas come nearest to miracles, but they can be easily explained on rational grounds, and there is nothing in the verses of Tukaram himself about the events which makes such explanation impossible. There can be no doubt, however, that Tukaram believed in the possibility of miracles. In fact, it would be a wonder if it were otherwise. His very faith in the idol Vithoba could not but have a substratum of belief in miracles, and the course of his life was formed by incidents which, of course, he believed to be direct inspiration from God. His cardinal doctrine of salvation by faith and the efficacy of repeating God's name was derived by him in his first dream After renouncing his worldly callings, and his poetic inspiration also came to him according to his own account in a dream. All that his writings point out only is that there is very little evidence to be derived from them for the innumerable miracles that are ascribed to himself. It cannot be said, however, that they are entirely free from such evidence, though it must be said that the evidence is capable of a rational instead of a miraculous interpretation. There exist in the following collection two verses referring to two incidents which may be considered to go to prove that Tukaram believed in his possessing the power of working miracles. Verse 2315 is headed in the collection as the one referring to Tukaram having brought to life a dead child. This incident is what I narrate when I do a book reading event. I did it in US, I did
Uh-huh.
it in 8 cities in India also. In my typical book reading event, I tell people about two miracles in the life of Tukaram Maharaj. This is one of them. The other one is about how he saved Tukaram Maharaj, how he saved Shivaji Maharaj in a kirtan when the Mughals attacked that room and
Okay.
that miracle. These are the two miracles I truly believe they really must have happened, because unless that miracle happened, there is no way Shivaji Maharaj could have gone from that hall where from every door the Mughals had come inside and they were trying to catch Shivaji. Every person started looking like Shivaji, and that is what confused
Yeah.
the people. So let's see how he what this author says. Verse 2315 is headed in the collection as the one referring to Tukaram having brought to life a dead child. The verse itself is as follows: O Narayana, you are not powerless to make an inanimate object animate. The translation is not good. It is not inanimate object animate. Tukaram has simply asked Lord Panduranga, you are not powerless to bring a dead person alive. Because the word is like this, Ashakyate तुम्हा नाही नारायणा निर्जीवा चेतना आणावया. जिसकी जान चली गई है,
Uh,
कुछ उसके अंदर फिर से जान लाना ये आपके लिए मुश्किल नहीं है. This is what he has.
uh,
So this translation is not good. Then the second line is, let's see, how many legends do we know of your past wonders? Why should we not see something with our own eyes now? Yes, Tukaram Maharaj said, I know so many legends about your greatness, your wonders, and now why we should not see something with our own eyes now? Our fortune is great. We are under the leadership of the able. Because we are under your leadership, so we are also great. Our fortune is great. Is it little that we call ourselves your slaves? It's not little. So then in the end, Tuka says, satisfy my eyes by the manifestations of your power. Even this translation is inadequate. It is not satisfy. Tukaram Maharaj is saying, something more than delight, delight my eyes, bring delight to my eyes, bring an amazing delight to my eyes. Because the last line is तुका म्हणे माझे निववावे डोळे दावोनी सोहाळे सामर्थ्याचे. निववावे मीन्स गिव मी द अल्टीमेट कूलिंग सेंसेशन टू माय आईज. मेरी आंखें बिल्कुल
okay.
ठंडी हो गई, इतनी शांत और ठंडी हो गई, मैं इतना प्रसन्न हो गया, मैं इतना डिलाइट हो गया कि मेरी आंखें निवव आवे डोळे मेरी सिंपली डिलाइट. So bring delight to my eyes by showing manifestation of your power. The incident as related by Mahipati was the following. So here is Mahipati. Mahipati did a lot of questioning the people, gathering the evidence, and then putting on record the biography of the Tukaram Maharaj. So in the course of a kirtan at Lohagaon, a woman brought the corpse of her dead child. and threw it before Tukaram, saying that if he were a true believer in Vishnu, he would restore the child to life. Tukaram thereupon composed and recited the above Abhanga, and the legend adds that to the surprise of all, the child became alive. The other incident was on the occasion of Tukaram's visit to Chintamani Dev, the worshipper of the Ganpati of Chinchwad, which is a small place near Pune. It was a village in those times. Now Chinchwad is an industrial town. It's kind of a suburb of Pune. And Chinta
Yeah.
so in Chinchwad, there is a Ganesha temple, and there was a very famous saint there whose name was Moraya Gosavi. And Moraya Gosavi
Hmm.
was a God realized saint, and his son name is Chintamani Dev. So this is the story about an incident which happened with the son of a God realized saint. So the worshipper of Ganpati of Chinchwad, a village about 5 miles from Dehu, it is related by Mahipati that as Tukaram's fame began to spread, he was one day requested by Chintamani Dev to favor him with a visit at Chinchwad to that Ganesha temple. And that was basically a little bit trying to test Tukaram Maharaj. Chintamani Dev had some ego, so he was skeptic and he wanted to test Tukaram Maharaj. Then the
Who was wanting to test Tukaram?
Chintamani Dev,
Chintamani.
Chintamani Dev, who was the son of a God realized saint, Moraya Gosavi, but it seems
Yeah.
Chintamani Dev himself may not have reached that level because he was skeptic of Tukaram Maharaj and he invited Tukaram Maharaj only to test him. That was his mischief kind of
Okay.
behavior. So
Mm.
Tukaram complied with the request. He was well received by Deva, Chintamani Dev, and entertained at dinner. He was, of course, served in a separate line at which he took no offense because Brahmins will sit separately and others will sit separately. So his line was separate. He didn't object for that. But he asked Chintamani Dev to serve one more separate dish and to call his god, Ganpati, to dine. Because Chintamani Dev was worshipper of Lord Ganesha, and there is a Jagrut temple in that Chinchwad, that Moraya Gosavi temple is a Jagrut
Mm.
Ganesha temple. So, and Moraya Gosavi had got actually darshan of Ganesha. So then Tukaram Maharaj said that, okay, my plate is separate, that is fine. But near my dish, please put one more dish and invite Ganpati, Lord Ganesha to dine. Deva plainly confessed his inability to do so. There is a poem in that. So, but Tukaram insisted on two additional dishes being served. He said, do thali lagao. And the gods Vithoba and Ganpati, says Mahipati, came to dine to his prayer. As Mahipati has written, Vithoba came and Ganpati came because Tukaram Maharaj requested Vithoba came for dinner, and Tukaram Ganpati he requested Ganesha. Ganesha also came for dinner, and they all ate with living gods. This is what Mahipati has written. Now, how events and reality and chamatkar and how they turned into anecdotes, it's a very complex chemistry. One can't, in today's world, one can't really tell for sure. But if those people really had dinner with Vithoba and Ganpati along with Tukaram Maharaj, I can only envy them, that's all. So let's continue.
Yes.
Mahipati, however, adds that none but Dev and Tukaram could see the gods dining, but that the common people observed the dishes to have become empty of themselves. Oh, I see. See, this is something, What he wrote is that only Mahipati, only Tukaram Maharaj and that Chintamani Dev. So probably he was also highly advanced spiritually. So they were able to see that lords have come and they are sitting and they are eating. But what the other people could see was that the plates are becoming empty. They could not see the God.
Yeah.
This is exactly what I believe must have happened when Tukaram Maharaj went to Vaikuntha in that plane. When a kirtan was in progress in Dehu, and when the kirtan was in progress, a lot of people were sitting listening to his kirtan. And suddenly, from nowhere, a huge sandstorm came, and that so much sandstorm was there that visibility became zero. And in that zero visibility, Tukaram Maharaj vanished. When the sand settled down, they could not see Tukaram Maharaj. But there are a lot of his disciples who were present there, and that the same man who had ordered punishment to Tukaram Maharaj for drowning the Abhanga Gatha, that Rameshwar Bhatt, he has composed an Abhanga in which he says that a plane came from Vaikuntha. Tukaram Maharaj sat in the plane and he went into Vaikuntha with his body. That is the Abhanga, because he was a very highly developed disciple. If he was present at that site, he saw all of this in same thing. I feel this must have happened in invisible form, just the way he is describing here that Vithoba and Ganpati we ate on that plate in invisible form. Same way, there is an explanation given by one Mr. Kolatkar who has written a book on Patanjali Yoga Sutra, and in that book, he explains that the vanishing of Tukaram Maharaj can be explained with this, that just like a yogi gets Ashtasiddhi when he reaches a certain level of development, and during those, one of those siddhis is that the man can become invisible. And he also said that a very highly evolved devotional saint, because of his high level of worship, the siddhis will automatically fall at his feet. So at that moment, Tukaram Maharaj must have become invisible. That sandstorm came, Tukaram became invisible. The plane came, that was also invisible. The plane, nobody saw the plane coming. Tukaram Maharaj sat in the plane, and only this his disciple Rameshwar Bhatt was able to see that. He was a witness to the entire thing, and then Tukaram Maharaj went along in the plane, and then he has written that Abhanga, his disciple has written that Abhanga that Tuka went to Vaikuntha with his whole body. And it has to be true because there is another evidence that he composed 12 poems, 12 Abhangas, and put them down on the earth from the plane. And in that Abhanga is himself written that I have put this play Abhanga in the plane, from the plane, along with my tar, my symbols, and my blanket, so that people should recognize that I have composed this Abhanga as a signal, as a sign to recognize I am putting my symbol and my blanket. And he threw it from the plane near the house of one very highly evolved devotee whose name is Malhar Panta Kulkarni. And that is a village near Dehu. It is called Talgaon Chikhli. Actually, the name of the village is Chikhli, but because the tar was thrown by Tukaram Maharaj into the village at the house, near the house of Mallar Panta Kulkarni, who was a very good devotee of Tukaram Maharaj, he found the tar, and believe me, madam, I have seen those stone.
Huh?
They are locked in a glass petty, glass box. They have been kept in the temple which is there at Targaon Chikli near Dehu. And there are stone tars. In the olden days, people used to have stone tars. So those stone
Oh,
are in the possession of that temple. I have taken photos. I have put them on my Facebook also. The photos are there. If you scroll back a
okay.
once, I will send you those photos. So that incident and all the composition of those 12 abhangas, I have made YouTube videos of all the 12 abhangas on my channel. If you look for Bara Abhanga, and I have translated them
Mm,
into English, so you can even understand what are those 12
thank you.
abhangas. And Tukaram Maharaj, the purpose while traveling to Vaikuntha in the plane, he composed those abhangas. It is a full summary of what a man should do to achieve the darshan of Lord Vithoba, during his household existence, how he can win the Lord, and how, if people recite those 12 Abhangas, they will invariably get darshan of Lord. That is another guarantee he has given. So if you get time, do have a look at all the 13, 12. There are actually total 13, 14 Abhangas, because 12 are the Abhangas.
I will.
One is called that Phalashruti Abhanga. What will be the benefit?
Acha.
So those are there. So if this much evidence is available, I think we will have to believe that he definitely became invisible, and then in invisible form he sat in that invisible plane sent by Vishnu, and then he went to Vaikuntha. That is what I firmly believe. Because I do believe that molecules can be made invisible. In fact, now if you look at some tricks which can be played and which are being played scientifically,
Uh,
they make buildings invisible. You can make a square, let's say you can make a building invisible. How the trick is, you take video of the scenery which is on the other side of the building, and
uh,
with a camera, you project it on the wall of the building or from the side from which we are looking.
okay.
You got it. So,
Yeah.
what is beyond the building, you are able to see on the wall of the building, and as a result, you will feel that, oh, there is no building. It's all continuous scenery.
Yeah.
The obstruction is removed by putting a projection smartly with the camera. So science is slowly moving on. A day might come when science might find some gimmick by which a molecule, a cell of the body can be made transparent. What they explain, the Ashtasiddhi, what the explanation of in the Ashtasiddhi of man becoming invisible is that they say that with his willpower, the yogi can make every cell of his body transparent, and as a result of making every cell transparent, sunlight is able to go through and through, so the yogi becomes fully invisible. That is the Ashtasiddhi, one of the Siddhis. So we have all changed our subject, but I think it was interesting. I hope so. And now
Yes.
continue. Mahipati
Yes.
adds that none but Deva and Tukaram could see the gods dining, but that the common people observed the dishes to have become empty of themselves. The following Abhanga in the collection has reference to the above incident. So this is the Abhanga. O Chintamani Deva, get Ganpati and dine with you in another dish. Please invite Ganpati to dine along with you in another play dish. Deva says, O Tukya, where have I so much greatness? Pride has undone me, so I cannot do it. The dishes have long since been served, the victuals have become cold, and the brahmanas are all waiting impatiently. That is the Abhanga. Tuka says, by the merit that is in you, O Deva, I shall bring Moraya Ganpati quickly. So in this Abhanga, Tukaram Maharaj told the Deva that I don't have to use my punya. You have enough punya within you. I will use your punya and I will invite Ganpati and he will listen and he will come. And the Ganpati came. So it will be observed that through these two abhangas above quoted show Tukaram to have been conscious of possessing direct communion with God. They are more modest in their tone than the subsequent interpretations of Mahipati and others founded upon them. I don't understand what is the meaning of. They are more modest in their tone. The Abhangas are more modest in their tone than the subsequent interpretations of Mahipati and above others. Another thing is, any saint and any the reached person, they are not allowed to disclose their connection with God. They are bound by that
Uh,
rule. They are not supposed to tell that भगवान को मैं बात करता हूँ and he comes and talks to me or I talk to him. Because they say that if you disclose what you are doing, that those siddhis will go away, your powers can go away. So that is maybe the
Okay.
reason why Tukaram has not written very explicitly. But some of these Adhambagangas are very explicit. He has described how Vithoba came to his house. How he sat on a broken bed. वो खटिया, लकड़ी की खटिया थी, टूटी फूटी खटिया थी, उस पे विठोबा लॉर्ड विठल बैठे। उन्होंने विठोबा को देने के लिए घर में कुछ नहीं था, थोड़ा कुछ चावल पकाया, वो खिलाया, वो भगवान ने खाया। He has described that. So my reading of Gatha told me that it seems that 2 3 days before his departure, Vithoba had come and met him. And he, in fact, probably
Yeah.
stayed in the house of Tukaram Maharaj, and they made the readiness for departure. And then on that day, he left. The Abhangas all point out towards that because he has fully described, and that beautiful Abhanga, I can recite it. When he saw the Lord coming, he composed
Uh,
Abhanga, and that Abhanga I have also put it in my YouTube videos. I have sung it also in that Path Karave Tase Abhanga playlist. So the Abhanga goes like this: Shankha Chakra Gada Padma. He's seeing the Lord coming from the Garuda on the Garuda, and he's describing the God. शंख चक्र गदा पद्म पैला आला पुरुषोत्तम नाभि नाभि भक्तराया वेगी पावलो सखया वेगी पावलो सखया. So the Lord is saying, Nabhi, Nabhi, don't be afraid, my dear. Don't be afraid. Nabhi, Nabhi, Bhaktaraya. Vegi Pavalo Sakhaya. I have blessed you. I am coming. I am blessing you. Vegi Pavalo Sakhaya. Then the next line, Tukaram Maharaj says, Duruniyeta Dise Drushti. Duruniyeta Dise Drushti. धाके दोष पड़ती सृष्टि धाके दोष पड़ती सृष्टि. So this means when you see coming from a distance, the whole srishti, the bad things in the srishti, they are running away. They are with scare. Because what is said that when God comes, that when the Chaitanya starts coming, everything in that
uh,
area has to be clean and pavitra. Whatever dirt and trash is there, it will be immediately burnt away. So ghosts and bad elements, they get scared and they start running helter skelter when Lord's power is coming. So this is that Abhanga describing Duruni Yeta, they say Srishti, Dhake Dosha Parati Srishti. All the bad elements,
uh,
nature started running away. And in the end, he says, Tuka dekho ni ekala, Vaikunthi huni haryala. तुका देखो नी एकला वैकुंठी हुनी हरियाला शंख चक्र गदा पद्म पैल आला पुरुषोत्तम Panduranga, Panduranga. So this is the description he has given. Now tell me, who can write like this unless he has really seen the Lord? He has seen the Lord,
uh,
the Garuda, and that is how the joy has come out in this Abhanga. It has so much power and punch, really. And so let's continue. The following, now the meeting will get over within 2 minutes. We will not continue. We'll go next week, I think.
okay.
If you feel we want to do twice a week, I am ready for that, but just let me know. So,
No, for the moment, once.
yeah. So we will just read for
Uh,
1.5 minutes and then maybe we can stop. Or if you want to speak something, let's talk. We can stop here and tell me
no, no, no. Just
how did you find?
carry on.
Everything is okay, going okay?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just carry on.
So it will be observed that through the two Abhangas quoted above, Tukaram are conscious of possessing direct communion with God. They are more modest in their tone than the subsequent interpretations of Mahipati and others founded upon them. Very great obscurity prevails as to the end of Tukaram's earthly existence. The popular belief is that he ascended alive to heaven in the car of Vishnu, and there are verses 1606 to 1609 which lend countenance to it. In all the MSS, however, which have been collated for the present edition, there is a statement in prose that Tukaram disappeared in Shaka 1571, the name of the year being Virodhi, on the second of the dark half of Falgun in the first quarter of the day between 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Nothing is spoken of the car